Can you confidently tell me everybody who has access to every single SharePoint site in your organization? In this video, I'm going to show you how to audit your SharePoint so you can lock it down before someone surfaces some information that they should not have seen. It's really common that as your organization grows out, that the permission structures get out of control. And this becomes a real big problem when you introduce Microsoft Copilot, because suddenly everything is searchable. IT admins usually only find out that they have a permissions problem once a user has surfaced content they shouldn't really see. With native SharePoint, we can only really see permissions on a site-by-site basis. It's near impossible to work out what the permissions matrix looks like across the whole SharePoint tenant. We see all sorts of problems with permissions that need to be resolved before you start using things like Copilot. I'm talking about permissions inherited by groups, excessive amounts of direct permissions, using the everyone except external user group on far too many sites, documents shared with the anyone link, as well as external sharing. I was recently working with a client that was already using SharePoint and Teams and OneDrive, and they wanted to make the next step, which was to start deploying Copilot to their users. When they approached me, they thought it was as simple as just deploying licenses and letting people start using Copilot. So I asked them the same question. Can they confidently tell me where every employee has access to each and individual SharePoint site? The very first step that I supported them with was investigating permissions of SharePoint, to which they found they had a number of oversharing risks, including the potential of private confidential employee information being shared to the wider business from their HR SharePoint site. So first off, let's take a look at how you can check the SharePoint permissions using only native SharePoint functionality. 5 layers to consider for SharePoint permissions. The first layer is the very top, which is a SharePoint site. Now, what you specify there, who has edit access, who has read access, will flow through all the other layers. The second layer underneath the site is what we call the document libraries or the lists. That's what stores your information. But at the third layer, underneath a library, you could have folders, or even at the fourth layer, you could have subfolders of those folders. And the fifth layer is the documents layer itself, the actual documents. And as I say, you specify the permissions at the site layer, and it'll flow through the libraries, the folders, the subfolders, and the document. However, you could break the inheritance at any one of those steps in the chain, and you could end up with a potential issue. So looking at our SharePoint site, if we were to natively try and look and figure out what our SharePoint permissions are doing, the first step would be to look at the permissions of the SharePoint site. So by clicking the cog, we can click on site permissions and we can see the groupings which are natively given to us. Site owners who have full control, site members who have limited access, and site visitors who have no control. Now, basically, site visitors is read-only access. And by clicking on these groupings, we can see the people that's underneath them. Now, first off, what's standing out to me is there's a lot of full control users. Typically, with a SharePoint site, you would only expect to see 1 or 2 owners of the SharePoint site. There's not usually that many people that need to control the site. This SharePoint site is actually the home page, the hub of our intranet. So again, you would only typically see 1 or 2 people with direct permission. So having 5 people on there, again, already is a bit of a concern, as they probably don't all need that level of access. Further down, you can see that our site visitors group, which has read access, we're using this everyone except external users. Now, that's not too much of a problem when we're looking at an intranet, because again, we want everyone in the organization to be able to have read access to this. However, you could also be using that group on other sites that maybe you don't want everyone to have access to. So if this was a HR site, which was just for HR people, or a finance site that was just for finance people, it'd be a major red flag if we saw that group in the site visitors group. But this is just the first layer. The next layer down is those libraries and lists. And to look at them, we have to again go through each and every individual one of them. To do that, we go back to the cog, click on site contents, and you'll see all the different document libraries and lists we have available on this site. Now, by default, you will just have a documents library on a SharePoint site, but people might have created more document libraries for things like contracts or policies. Now, by clicking into our documents layer, this is where we can actually see our documents library. Again, by clicking on the cog, we can click on library settings, more library settings, and this will take us into the back end where we can then select permissions for this document library. And here we go, we can see it's actually inheriting from the parent, which is the hub. So it's got exactly the same permissions. So that's not a problem. If someone had clicked the stop inheriting permissions, they could have actually had their unique permissions from this layer onwards. So the third layer down is then our folders. Again, with folders, you can see we've got multiple folders within this document library. We can select the three dots and then select manage access. And this will then bring us up a panel which will tell us who has access. So you can see that this folder currently at the moment is using the same groupings that our site is using. So it's inheriting from the document library, which is inheriting from the SharePoint site. Again, this could be broken though at this layer. The fourth layer down then is our subfolders. Back on our folders here, I can click into folder 1 and you can see I've then got folder 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. There's no limit to the amount of subfolders that a document library could potentially hold. So this could take a lot of time to look at all these folders. Back in our folders, we can then see our fifth layer down, which is our documents. Again, the same options by clicking three dots, clicking manage access. This will bring up who has access to these individual documents. But as you can tell, this is a very manual process that can take a lot of time and leave you exposed to human errors where there might be SharePoint areas that you've not actually looked at. Now, my client was a very large enterprise, and that meant that they did not have the bandwidth to be able to go through every single SharePoint site and audit things manually. So they needed to use a third-party Microsoft 365 management tool to help them to identify potential security and permission risks. We compared a range of different tools for this, but actually my favorite is ShareGate. Specifically, ShareGate Protect will help identify insights into where there could be potential security risks for your SharePoint. So let's take a look at that and see what insights we can gather. For my clients, the first thing I would do is navigate to the ShareGate Protect area, click on Insights, and filter by Prevent Oversharing. This is going to show you the key critical issues that you need to address. All of the issues are actually using a RAG status. So red, amber, and green to show areas that you need to focus on first. The first area we can see here is 3 users have excessive amount of direct permissions. So going back to my example earlier, that's where people have been actually added as named users into SharePoint sites. By clicking on this button, it will actually deep dive you into this area to get a bit more understanding of what this issue is. It actually tells you here, it summarizes that excessive direct permissions, more than 5 per user, make it harder to understand and manage who can access which resources over time. This increases the risk of access lingering after roles change and makes reviews and cleanup more complex compared to group-based access. The Microsoft best practice is to use groups. It's much easier to swap out a group based on a role or a department than it is to actually swap out individual employees. I also like this insight trend because you can see earlier in the month when we were first looking at this, there was actually 4 cases of this excessive amount of direct permissions. And as we've been working on them, it's slowly coming down, meaning per risk that's identified, you can measure how that is being fixed, resolved over a period of time. By clicking on the Review Users tab, we can actually see the common offenders who have too much direct access. Back on our Insights tab, we can see other risks that have been identified. For example, 44 workspaces can be accessed by everyone except external users. That is drastically high, a massive red flag. Now, as a SharePoint consultant, I would expect to only see 1, maybe maximum 2 or 3 SharePoint sites which are using that everyone except external users, because ultimately it should only be your intranet, your shared spaces that are using that you want everyone to access your intranet to get access to key information like policies, procedures, handbooks, forms, all of that great stuff. However, 44 is way too high, and I can't imagine it's being used appropriately. So if we click on this button, it will then again give us a summary of what is meant by this and some suggestions to restrict workspace access, automate workspace cleanup, automate the removal of permissions, and standardize workspace governance. We can also see the insight trends here, so you can actually see it's going up, which again is a massive red flag. If this is trending up, it means the problem is getting worse, it's getting out of control, and we need to fix that root cause in order to fix the overall problem. Often this is just educating people what permissions they need to use and when. On our Insight tabs, we can see the review workspaces. So this means that we can actually take a look at all the different SharePoint sites which are using this everyone except external users group. Now, again, all company, that is likely to be our staff intranet, and that's totally fine to use the everyone except external user group. However, there's a bunch of other sites here that should not be using it. For example, acquisition. It might be that the SharePoint site was created during a merger or an acquisition, and only certain employees probably need to have access to it. Not everybody. We have a bunch of customer success teams. Again, that's probably only the sales team, the customer success team that needs access to that, not the whole company. So once we've identified this, what do we do about it? Well, actually, we can select the sites we think actually acquisition, account management, sales and marketing, that shouldn't be using the everyone except external user group. So we can use bulk actions and click the remove everyone except external user permissions, which will automatically strip it out the site. Now, when you're dealing with an enterprise client like mine, and they've got hundreds, thousands of SharePoint sites, this speeds the process up significantly so they don't have to manually go into each SharePoint site to remove those groups. Once we've cleaned it all up though, how do we prevent this from happening again? Now, one of the ways is to educate people. Maybe create some training videos or invite them to an internal webinar to educate them on how SharePoint permissions work. However, even with all best intentions, it's better to have something in place to make sure that you're actively removing that group as and when it appears. So we can do this in ShareGate using a policy. I just wanted to pause for a second and say, if you want to play around with ShareGate and see what it can do for you, then to make it easy, I've actually included a link in the description below where you can get a free trial of ShareGate and see all of its features. So go and check it out. So back on this tabs, we can click on policies, click create new policy. We have a trigger, condition, and an action. The action can be to remove everyone except external users permission groups. We can then set a condition because we don't want to remove it from every single site because, as I say, there might be an intranet homepage that we do want that group to still remain on. So with our conditions, we can actually say the site URL does not equal or does not contain, and then we would paste in the URL of our intranet site, so that all company SharePoint site. So that basically means it'll find every site that isn't our intranet homepage that is using the everyone except external user group, and it will remove that grouping. This keeps on top of the problem for us, so we don't have to worry about it. Once we've done our big cleanup, the system is still working in the background to ensure those policies are being met. Another red risk that's been identified is 147 documents are shared using anyone links. This is where users have gone and selected a document in SharePoint, click the share button, and it's used the anyone link, which literally means anyone can use that link to access the document. Now you might be thinking, well, they have to have that link to find it. Well, that isn't the case because Copilot will also be able to surface those documents that have been shared with anyone links, meaning that even if it was inside of a library that you thought was locked down, if someone has selected the document and created an anyone sharing link, then it's fair game for anyone else in the company to access that document. Let's say, for example, that's a document in the HR SharePoint site called Joe Blogg's performance report. If someone in Copilot then asks the question of, what is a performance report for Joe Blogs? If someone shared that with an anyone link, Copilot will surface information from that document. There's a massive spike increase of this anyone sharing link, which means I think they need a lot of education on what that sharing link actually means and the impact it will have on their wider security and permissions. The cool thing about ShareGate Protect is we can also click the review and sharing links and actually see all of the links that have been generated. So we can actually see each of the files that have been created within here. Now, there is a whole load of rubbish in here, as we can expect. If I was to scroll down, you can see there's a document here that's been shared with everyone called HR Management Reporting. That's probably not a document that you would want to be shared with the whole company. Again, once you roll out Copilot, anyone could ask a question, potentially containing sensitive HR-related information, and Copilot will surface it because that document has technically been shared with everyone. Back on our insights, we can also identify 2 workspaces with large numbers of anyone links. So this is the same type of problem, but we've actually identified some of the key areas. So going into review workspaces, we can see it's actually the account management and acquisition site, which is actually the lion's share of the problem. So we can track down who the owners of those SharePoint sites are to educate them and ensure they're not doing this in the future. Combining that with a ShareGate policy to restrict how documents are shared will really reduce the risk. Also, on our insights, we can see 82 site objects have broken permission inheritance. So this is where we looked at those 5 different layers, and it means somewhere in that layer, permissions have been broken. And again, that's something to be aware of because you might be aware of the permissions at the site layer, but further down it's been broken and maybe been exposed. So again, we can click on the review broken inheritance and we can see where has been broken. So you can see we've got on our sales site, the document library on the sales site is actually using different permissions. So we might on the sales site have given access just to the sales security group. But if the document library has actually been broken at that layer to add in additional people from other departments, we might not be aware of that. And we might not know that documents stored in that sales document library is now accessible to the wider organization. We can also see some less urgent notifications, a low impact risk of 101 files and folders can be accessed through the people in your org links. Again, that's still quite concerning because it could be that data falls into the wrong hands internally, but it's not as critical as the anyone link because the anyone link literally means anyone in the world with that link can access that document. Now we've got some of the insights together. We know some typical offending users, we know some problem workspace areas and SharePoint sites, and we know some broken inheritance permission areas. We now want to do more of a deep dive into the permission structure. Now, there's no way of doing this with native SharePoint. The best way to achieve this is to use the ShareGate tool to do a full permission matrix report. We can actually achieve this with a report in the ShareGate Protect product. If we go down to reports, you'll see we have a permissions matrix report. By selecting on that, we can actually select all of our SharePoint sites and then click on the View Report button. This is then going to break down the permissions matrix report for all SharePoint and Microsoft Teams sites. We can see how the permissions are structured and identify anywhere that there might be different broken inheritance permissions. As you can see, this is a very detailed report and it does require you to go through it in a bit of detail. However, it's the only way you're confidently going to know who has access to each area of your SharePoint. If you enjoyed this video, check out the video on screen now, as I think you'll find it really valuable. If you have any questions at all, use the comments feed below and subscribe for more SharePoint content.